and Jorn Helder on row 7. David Minchuna and Amelia Byrne going from row 8 ahead of Evan Purcell and Arthur Didonka on row 9. Sara Ifert and Ben Gotts go from row 10 and round out the top 20 ahead of Riley Cranham and Julian Bubb. Jürg Rana has deployed a full set of fresh tyres to kart. So we'll be curious to see how the Indian driver fares in this race. There you can see the drivers making their way round on their formation lap, getting everything up to temperature and ready. It shouldn't take too long to do that, as it is still very, very hot out there. Temperature's still in the 30 degrees. 31 degrees now is the air temperature, so it's gone up even more. Like we were saying, we were aiming around 33 degrees around this time of day, so the weatherman this time around, not wrong. He's predicted that one relatively well. Right, drivers making their way into turn number 10, and they'll get to the red line on the hump at the moment. There's a look at the intermediate classifications. Mackie leading that by 2 points ahead of Nikita Nikishov. Zach Green with 4 points as well ahead of Sardelity. Buckley from Kreeft in that sort of situation as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's very close in that fight at the moment in the intermediate classifications. But let's see what they can do in this one. Can Mackie get another win as the lights do not go green? It is a false start, which is good news for my colleague Guillaume Alvarez, because it means he doesn't miss the start of the race as he makes his way back into the commentary box in a few moments' time. Challenging stuff for the drivers. Like we were saying, championship standings are a very important one. There, our race director, Martin Bean, watching along there. He'll be working on that tan out there nicely. Of course, he's been out in that sun all day. Obviously, one of the many hard-working people in the paddock, including mechanics, marshals, the production crew as well, the cameramen out there as well, giving you these pictures. They're out there battling the elements as well, and obviously all the people all behind the scenes in the production office as well, giving you the live pictures there. Fabulous view. You know what? Those cars right at the top of the road there, they look like they're floating a little bit. They don't look like they're attached to the road. That's the heat haze playing effect there. That's how hot it is here in southern Germany. Such a beautiful day to go racing. Sure, the drivers don't feel too much like that. They're probably... I'm absolutely knackered. I'm exhausted. I'm far too hot in this race suit and helmet. I just want a bucket of ice poured over my head, please. But they will get that at the end of this race, because this is their last race of the day. Into the tram lines, we are green and racing as they make their way down in towards turn number 1. It is a great start for the inside row. Mackie getting away well as the whole field slots in towards turn number 2. You can see there the car coming through there. That is the Victory Lane kart trying to make his way through. Also, the Falcon also in a good position there. Everyone getting a good getaway. But crucially, though, it's Mackie from, who is it? His championship rival, Tyke Butley, right there behind him as they make their way down in towards turn number 9.
They might be tied on points when it comes to the championship with just one between the two. But here in Wackersdorf for the qualifying heat, they have 4 points between the two with Harrison Mackie a year later with 2 points and 6 for Tyke Butley down in 6th place overall. This classification is very much provisional. This will change again after the last 2 races. Keep in mind that for the classification of the heats, the first 2 positions will give out the pole positions for the Superheat A and Superheat B. And it's important as well for the driver finishing on top of the ranking with the 10 points for the classification of championship. There's around the inside, Tyke Butley opening the door, as well as for Nikita Nikishov, who's going to try. He was actually trying to make his bid as well, but around the hairpin, there was a door well opened by Tyke Butley on Harrison Mackie. Nikishov couldn't actually. This time around, he can, and the door is once again open, and it goes the way of not only Nikishov, but also Benjamin Manach getting ahead of Harrison Mackie. And it's going left and right for Harrison Mackie. He's going to have to focus on, because otherwise this race could take a very, very different turn than what he had in mind. Harrison Mackie needs to win this race if he wants to be able to gain those 10 points for the championship and extend his lead on Tyke Butley. It will be a first step before the final on Sunday afternoon. But at the moment, it's pretty much knives out for any of the contenders in this last race for those two groups, one more for the juniors. Last rotation for this second class, with the drivers between 12 and 14 years of age. Here's your classification. Zach Green at the moment that you will get to see competing in the next race is at the moment your current provisional leader, considering that Harrison Mackie has lost 2 positions. So that means that he had 2 points to start with, plus 3, that makes it 5. He would still be on pole position if it would stay like that, but that's very much unlikely considering that we have one more race after that. And it's down to him to try to secure an even better result than P3.
Well, yes, indeed it is. But remember, then it falls into the hands of Zach Green in the next race, because if he drops down the order, then it puts Mackie back up, even if he finishes there. So again, it's not over for Mackie. He's still in a good position to start on pole for Superheat 1 tomorrow. He just needs to maybe gain one more position here to kind of help out and secure that one just that little bit more. But he's under real pressure here from Alex Pineda, who is right on that rear bumper as they go through that chicane. The same could be said for Nikita Nikishov on Buckley. Now, Nikishov has got the fastest lap of the race on that last one, so has got the pure pace out there, but yet to find a gap past Buckley. Big checks over the shoulder. Buckley's trying to see where Mackie is. Now, Buckley with this position goes fourth overall in the intermediate classifications. He can't do any more than that. He's got 6 points to his name. Now, Fidelity, who is not out in this race, Mackie, who is, and Green, who isn't, you know, Buckley has a chance of starting on the front spot of this one here. If Mackie drops down another position, which he's just done, Mackie down to P4, that could bring Buckley into it. Now, they'll be joint on points, I believe, because Mackie out-qualified Buckley. Mackie would still get the jump on him, but they'll be joint on points. So one more position loss for Harrison Mackie, and he would lose out on potentially being on that front row.
Yeah, still very much provisionals, as we just got past halfway through the halfway marker of this qualifying heat. Lap number 6. Here we go. Nikita Nikishov, 69,000 of a second, pretty much nothing in front of Buckley. Watch out for any attempt on the inside of turn number 2, and while trying to do so, well, the gap just decreased on Alex Pinera. Alex Pinera with a good machine. Quintin Van Leeuwen in the meantime the fastest on track. We have ourselves a beautiful 4-driver battle coming towards the later stages of that race with Harrison Mackie. He still has a shot. Harrison Mackie, at the win in this race. All he needs to do is to not get himself just too soon. He stays within reach, but keep a close watch on any other moves for the drivers just in front of him. There's half of a second between Harrison Mackie in 4th and Nikita Nikishov in the lead on the inside. There he goes. First move in the bag, not in the bid, but in the bag for Harrison Mackie on Pinera, up into P3. And we might see another attempt from Tide Buckley, switching the line, trying to get that door wide open. It was shut at the very last second into the breaking point by Nikishov.
Well, I could see there Mackie was trying to get his nose back down the inside there. He's going to do it again here, down the inside of Buckley. Buckley's going to have to concede second place. And now Mackie is free to go on the attack towards Nikita Nikishov, but the gap has opened up, and the gap behind has closed in. Pineda, Quintin Van Leeuwen, Benjamin Magnac. Then it's Toby Gale, Archie Owen, Angelina Simmons. They're all there, all battling. There down the inside is Toby Gale going for the move. Gets past Archie Owen. Pineda down to 8th place as well, as they all try and scrap 4 positions here. There's a kart going very, very slowly on track. And I'm just trying to figure out who that is at the moment.
That's the number 80, isn't it?
I think, is it the number 80? Yeah, Jugrana, I think, who deployed the fresh set of tyres. It's not been able to utilise that one. Here, though, Mackie all over the rear bumper, and, well, Nikita Nikishov's going to back him up into the grid behind by going defensive here on this final lap of the race. This is a chance for Mackie. This is a chance to start on pole potentially in that final and superheats later on in the weekend. He's going to look to the inside. The door is slammed closed. Nikita Nikishov is white lining it all the way to the end of this race.
Couple of corners left. He's going to around the outside, trying to switch positions. It's going to be in the last turn, maybe, with Nikishov shutting the door. Watch
Oh,
out!
look
on
at
the
this
momentum
run.
on the inside.
Look at the run.
He's gonna take it. Yes, he does. Victory for Ty Buckley in the last few meters of a crazy final few corners. Ty Buckley, the momentum on the inside of the last turn. He just surprised them both. Nikishov and Maki focused on themselves, focused on the battle for the win. And Ty Buckley, the third driver in the mix. A great entry into the last corner. A great momentum. He switched the line on the inside. And then the gods of racing were with him, giving him that little bit of extra pace to jump them both at the finish of this race for just 700 of a second on Nikita Nikishov. Harrison Maki down in third for 25 thousandths. And now it actually mixes all up in terms of classification. It shakes things up as Zach Green is now your current leader of the classification. Harrison Maki is still very much second, 1 point down in front of Spartalatif and Ty Buckley. Thanks to this victory, Ty Buckley climbs up to P4 in the classification. Tight on points, 6 each with Spartalatif as well as Nikita Nikishov, the biggest loser of the three certainly, as he was eyeing a place further up, but now finds himself P5 overall in the classification of the qualifying heats.